About the Rajgopalachari formula. So what was this Rajgopalachari formula? So in this lesson we will study about this Rajgopalachari formula. Then what were the main points of this Rajgopalachari formula? Then why was Jinnah objecting to this Rajgopalachari formula? What was the Desai-Liaquat Pact? What was the Wavell Plan? The main proposals of the Wavell Plan, and then we will study about the INA trials also. So the Rajgopalachari formula was given by Rajgopalachari, and he was the veteran Congress leader, and he prepared a formula for Congress League cooperation, that is Congress and Muslim League cooperation accepted to Gandhi. Okay, so it was a tacit acceptance of the League's demand for Pakistan. That is actually this Rajgopalachari. According to this Rajgopalachari formula, the demand of Pakistan was accepted. So Hindu leaders led by Veer Savarkar condemned this CR plan, that is Rajgopalachari formula. So main points of the Rajgopalachari formula were the Muslim League to endorse Congress demands for independence, that Muslim League should endorse because Congress was alone fighting for the independence, and Muslim League should also endorse the Congress demand for independence. And then Muslim League to cooperate with Congress in forming a provisional government at center, that Muslim League and Congress, they should cooperate each other for forming a provisional government at the center. And then after the Second World War, the entire population of Muslim majority areas in the northwest and northeast India to decide by a plebiscite whether or not to form a separate sovereign state. Okay, so in case of acceptance of partition, agreement to be made jointly for safeguarding defense, commerce, communications, etc. And the above terms to be operative only if England transferred full powers to India. So the main demands, if you see here, the main demands were that Muslim League should support Congress for independence. Then the second was that the Muslim League and Congress, they should cooperate with each other for forming a provisional government at the center. Third one was that after the end of the Second World War, the provinces which are the areas which are in the northwest or in east, that is in the present day the present day Pakistan and the present day Bangladesh. Okay, at that time it was part of India. So there will be, because that in these two areas there was Muslim majority, so in these two areas there will be a plebiscite, and it will be asked that whether or not to form a separate sovereign state. Okay, and if it is accepted, then only the separate sovereign state will be created, and whole population will vote in that plebiscite. And in the fourth demand was that in case of exception of partition, agreement to be made jointly for safeguarding defense, commerce and communications, etc. Okay, and the above terms were operative only if England transferred full power to India. Remember this, very important. So Jinnah's objection was there to this Rajgopalachari formula. Jinnah did not like this Rajgopalachari formula. Why? So Jinnah wanted the Congress to accept the two-nation theory. He said that Congress should accept the two-nation theory. Okay, and he wanted only Muslims he wanted only Muslims of northwest and northeast to vote in the plebiscite and not the entire population. So according to the Rajgopalachari formula, the whole population of the northwest and the east will vote in the plebiscite, but Jinnah wanted that no, only Muslims should vote in the plebiscite, and only Muslims should be asked that whether the separate state should be formed or not. And then Jinnah also objected. He also opposed the idea of common center. Okay. While the Congress was ready to cooperate with the Muslim League for the independence of the Indian Union, the Muslim League did not care for independence of the Union. It was only interested in the Union. It was only interested in a separate nation for Muslims. Okay. So that these were the objections of Jinnah to the Rajgopalachari formula. So there was a pact between Desai and Liaquat. So Bhulabhai Desai, the leader of Congress, with Liaquat Ali Khan, the leader of Muslim League, drafted a proposal for the formation of an interim government at the center, consisting of an equal number of persons nominated by Congress and the Muslim League in the Central Legislative Assembly. Okay, in the Central Legislature, that is an equal number of persons nominated by Congress and League in the Central Legislature, and 20% reserved seats for minorities. Then no settlement could be reached between the Congress and the League on these lines, but the fact that a sort of parity between the Congress and the League was decided upon, which had far reaching. Okay, so the Desai Liaquat Pact also did not work. Then came the Wavell Plan. So the elections in England necessitated for a sincere effort on reaching a solution of India. So a conference was convened by the Viceroy Lord Wavell at Shimla in June 1945, and in this Shimla, it is also called as a Shimla Conference. Okay, so this was aimed to reconstruct the Governor General's Executive Council and pending the preparation of a new constitution. Okay, so it was aimed to reconstruct the Governor General's Executive Council pending the preparation of a new constitution. So the Indian leaders participated in this Shimla Conference, and the main proposals of this Shimla Conference were as follows, and that is, with the exception of the Governor General and the Commander in Chief, all members of the Executive Councils were to be Indians. Okay, so now according to the Wavell Plan, except the Governor General and the Commander in Chief, all members of the councils were to be Indians. Then Hindus and Muslims were to have equal representation, and the reconstructed council was to function as an interim government within the framework of 1935 Act, that is Government of India Act 1935, that is not responsible to the Central Assembly. So according to the Government of India Act of 1935, it was not responsible to the Central Assembly, Central Legislature. Okay. So the main proposals again was that Governor General was to exercise his veto in the advice of ministers, and then representatives of different parties were to submit a joint list to the Viceroy for nominations to the Executive Council. And if a joint list was not possible, then separate lists were to be submitted, and then possibilities were to be kept open for negotiations on a new constitution once the war was finally won. So these were the main proposals of the Wavell Plan, and this was given into the Shimla Conference. So INA trials were also going on at the same time, that is Indian National Army trials, and these were very famous. So the trial of Indian National Army prisoners, sometimes described as Edge of Volcano, and the British initially decided to hold trials of several hundreds of Indian National Army prisoners, but the first trial at the Red Fort in November 1945, putting on dock together a Hindu Prem Kumar Sehgal, a Muslim Shah Nawaz Khan, and a Sikh Guru Baksh Singh Dillon. And then INA Day was celebrated on 12 November 1945, and INA week was from 5 to 11 November. So the INA trials were very famous, and Bhulabhai Desai, Jawaharlal Nehru, these were fighting from the side of the INA prisoners. Okay, so the INA agitation spread all over the country and witnessed participation of diverse social groups. Okay, so that's why INA trials become very famous. So that's all about this lesson. In our next lesson, we will study about the cabinet mission plan. What was the cabinet mission plan?